All right, I'm going to quickly run through some of the message I shared with David Livingstone over the years, talking about things that had to do with the God Bullies. You can find them on the godbullies.com website. There's a click right at the top. Messages from Livingstone. Let's see what we have here. The first one starts off. We're talking about the 25-year AMREP reunion. How we want to, discussing that. And here's David Livingstone. There is again discussion of doing the band again, and of course, the only way this makes sense is if you are involved. I'm pretty iffy on this idea myself, but if an agreement can be hammered out that everybody, particularly you, being me, Mike Corso, would be happy with, I would be down with giving it a try. Um, and I would have been. Of course, here I bring up the fact that we've had a God Bully album sitting in the can since 2002, and here it is, 2010, and it still hasn't been finished yet. Mike and Thrall, they have to run out and finish this new album. All right. Here's where Scott Kodrick comes in. He was a fan of the God Bully band. And Adam tells me, he goes, hey, Adam tells me that Kodrick has a Halloween gig as long as he can play. I hope the God Bullies isn't turned into So You Think You Can Be a God Bullies sideshow. That's me asking questions. And then I again bring up the fact that the album hasn't been finished yet. But that's me asking about why Scott Kodrick wants to play, and here's David Livingstone's response to that. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to go with the highlighted stuff here. As to Kodrick playing, don't know why he wants to, or if he thinks that he's somehow going to angle his way into the band or some shit, but that crap's not happening. If he wants to come up and jam on a couple songs, fine, whatever. But that's it. Does this sound like the person that wants to have Scott Kodrick as the lead guitarist in the band God Bullies now? I don't believe so. Let's read it again real quick. As to Kodrick playing, don't know why he wants to, or if he thinks that he's somehow going to angle his way into the band or some shit, but that crap's not happening. If he wants to come up and jam on a couple songs, fine, whatever. But that's it. All right, let's move along. He was okay. So you've heard Mike and Mike and Scott refer to being in a band. Well, Mike does. Mike Scott was in a band with David Livingstone called They Never Sleep, and this is how they treated David Livingstone when he played in the band. They didn't sleep. He got back with me. Goes, hey, don't think I told you, but Hard and Berg decided to surprise me by bringing along a second guitarist. The guy they're working with in the Mike Hard Best of thing, the Mike Hard band. I think they expected me to spaz out or something. I took it as a matter of course, played the show, came home, and haven't really talked to them since, nor do I expect to. And here's some of David Livingstone's profound thoughts always. It's a damn shame things are the way they are. Were there some measure of loyalty, civility, or basic human decency there, it might have been possible to make something out of the reprised God Bullies and or They Never Sleep. But in the absence of any sense of mutual regard/respect, it becomes impossible. I have had quite enough, I think. All right, so not looking to have a memorial album put out for him. Not in my opinion. All right, this is referring to a show. I think it was our last God Bully show. It was at Grumpy's in Minneapolis, just about a year after the 25-year AMREP. And this is David Livingstone saying, hey, Tom, just saw yours and Corso's note from before. The reason I'd want to do this is to see my Minneapolis friends, particularly yourself, and see Corso. Now, my bottom line is that given my schedule is clear, when I get back home, I will play the show as a one-off, provided the lineup consists of me, David, obviously, Hard, Berg, and Corso, maybe Tommy Shannon or Johnny Johnson. Bottom line is that if Corso's not in, I'm not in. And I would presume that any God Bullies that didn't contain both of us would be a rather sorry sight indeed. So, yeah, I'm not in it, David. I don't think he wants this to go on. Oh, I like this. He continues. Please, I always, when I read these, I hear them in David's voice, the way he talked. I like the way he talked. Please know that the only reason I'm considering the absolute ludicrous notion of diving back into that septic tank is because you are asking. It's because you're so very special. Aren't you lucky? Hope all is good with you, yours, and Grumpy's. I really miss David Livingstone. I really do. All right, here's where we start talking fake God bully stuff, thrall bullies. This is me talking to David. Hey, David, I checked out Johnny Johnson's Facebook page and see he will be attending / playing the God Bullies show October 9th in Columbus. I was all right with the Mike Hard show playing some God Bullies stuff, but billing themselves as God Bullies just pisses me off. He said the Mike Hard show played Louis in Kalamazoo, but it wasn't the God Bully crowd. No shit, because you alone ain't the fucking God Bullies. And I remember seeing they were booked at Louis as the Mike Hard show, and we don't have a problem with that. So, yeah, that's how that goes. And you can see David there. I got to think about this now. What the fuck? I'll get with you on it when I get home. There's some people I want to strangle right now. He's not happy with them calling themselves the God Bullies. Let's continue with that one. Oh yeah, this is a good one because this all revolves around an article that was in the news, was online and in whatever local rag they have there. Will the real God Bullies please stand up? I can't get it in the hoopla that surrounded it. And Livingstone's response makes it perfectly clear he was not at all on board when it comes to Mike Hard using God Bullies' name in vain. And the Columbus paper ran a follow-up based on my note to them. Mr. Hard did not appear to be pleased. And that's all gone, unfortunately. I should have downloaded it all back then, but it was classic. But here's David Livingstone's response to the article. Here's the message I sent to Hard. Mike, 2 things. Hayes needs your address, blah, blah, blah. Second, I see that you've spoken with the other paper in Columbus referencing my complaint to them that their article and or show promoter had misrepresented your recent appearance as being a God Bullies reunion when in fact it hadn't been. It had been my assumption that persons other than yourself had been responsible for this, and hence it wasn't an issue between you and I, but rather a matter of sloppy journalism and or misrepresentation on the part of the club. Corso had indicated to me that you told him that the people, presumably Paul, who booked the show had been responsible for effectively rebranding your current band as the God Bullies without your knowledge. Am I wrong about that? Let me know. So, yeah, that's how that thing goes there. Let's see if we got a little more follow-up on that. Oh, actually, yeah, actually, I did. Let me just put my 2 cents worth because this gets very interesting. I forgot about this. This is me answering the same article. Hello, Mike Corso, bass player for the God Bullies. Per your story, will the real God Bullies please stand up? Well, I'm here and I'm standing up. Well, I got a good chuckle out of your mixing 90s style rock with political theater article, referring to the band as Mike Hard and the reunited God Bullies. That is the problem. I'm sure you can understand the indisputable amount of work and time it takes to build the brand name and reputation of a band of the God Bullies' notoriety. Well, the Mike Hard Band may play some God Bullies songs. They also play many songs that have absolutely nothing at all to do with the God Bullies. Thus, they are not the God Bullies. For promoter Paul Bearer to make God Bullies the only name on the poster of his Facebook event page would certainly be deceiving to unsuspecting God Bully fans and can only be considered fraudulent. And for that, I'm offended. I'm sure Mike Hard takes great pride in the Mike Hard Band, and you'd think he'd want it advertised as such. I was a bit taken back by Hard's whatever gets people in the door is my philosophy, as if to pass off a Mike Hard fake God Bullies cover band as the actual God Bullies just to fill some seats is okay. Well then, shame on you. I have no animosity towards Hard, and the only gripe over the mixing 90s style rock article. While the real God Bullies did rock out both shows, we played a couple shows when they were playing fake shows. We also here's the interesting part. While the real God Bullies did rock out some shows, Hard's comments, Columbus was better than the later shows with Livingstone and Corso. Neither of them are currently in a band or even practice their craft. So you have Mike Hard coming out and saying his fake God Bullies cover band did a better job than David Livingstone or me. And this David Livingstone's the person he's supposedly going to put a memorial album out for? I don't think so, folks. All right, now, as a longtime friend of Hard's, and I've known him since 7th grade, I take that as an insult to me as a musician and entertainer. But that's the same old Mike Hard, and I really don't even want to go there, and I really don't. We may end up having to go there. Hey, Mike Hard, practice my craft. It's punk rock, dude. I can play these songs in my sleep. I'll see y'all at the next real God Bully show. OMGB. I coined that. Oh my God Bullies. Respectfully, a real God Bully member. I think he continues. What else do we have here? Oh yeah, David. Here's David's response. He goes, I started typing a long message about Fraud Bully's endless tour of Columbus, but didn't ultimately bother. He's a very good writer. He wrote for the Western Herald, the Kalamazoo Gazette, Your Flesh, and a bunch of other stuff. Very good. But he didn't follow through with it, and that's fine. But he does coin them as the Fraud Bullies. Endless tour of Columbus, because they go down there and they would try to call themselves the God Bullies. Does this sound like somebody who's really cool on Mike Hard starting up the band? I don't think so. This last comment is very good too. Between you, me, and Tommy, we wrote every single decent lick that cunt has ever sang to. And now the well is dry. So it's one endless rerun from now on. That's Mike Hard playing the God Bully songs, keeping them alive, as he says. Have your band write some new stuff that people actually want to listen to. Okay. Oh, this is a good one, too, because, Adam was in that fake God Bullies thing. This is from me. The following is Adam Berg. Originally, drummer didn't want to do fake God Bullies. And how Mike Hard suffers from delusions of grandeur because him and the whole Thrall band has it right now. They're really ridiculous anyways. Hey, did you hear about Adam today? He called me and was going to call you. Pretty interesting. He is evidently not down with this fake God Bully shit and has been fighting with Hard about it. Called up basically to apologize and tell me so. Yeah, he left a message the other day. So, yeah, not really. He wasn't happy with it either. None of us are happy with him stealing the band name and using it for his own purposes. Here's the follow-up on that, David again. I do love the way Hard's arrogance is already tearing his new band apart. Pathetic fucking loser. I'm sorry I ever wasted a second of my time playing with that cunt. Had I chosen differently 20 plus years ago, he never would have made it out of Kalamazoo. Not that I single-handedly made the band or anything, but the simple truth is His actions what put the shitty voice on vinyl in the first place. A mistake I will forever be sorry for. Oh, and this one's a good one here because um, this is what's not talked about much. In that everyone thinks that Mike Hard's the constant thing, blah blah blah. Well, he wasn't. Mike Hard quit the God Bullies. Mike Hard quit the band. He quit the God Bullies when the God Bullies still had some shows booked. So we went out and got our good friend Blaine Townsend. He was in a band called Tongue and some different bands. He knew the band well. We rehearsed. We sounded fine. We played those shows that we had booked. One of them, quick story, was at Club Soda. That's Kalamazoo. That's God Bullies' hometown bar where everybody knows us. And we played the shows. We were the headliner. We got paid points for a huge crowd. We sold a bucket load of merchandise, and Blaine Townsend was signing autographs like no tomorrow. And other than a couple of Mike Hard fanboys, nobody really cared. A lot of people didn't know the difference. They just didn't know the difference. They thought we were awesome. So yeah. Here's the thing, folks. Mike Hard can't walk on water, okay? He can call himself Father Hard or anything he wants. He's just another decent front man with a lot of ego. So, a couple more and we'll get to something different. Here it is. We've observed that we still have a Bullies album to finish, and it's the 25th anniversary of Mama Woom Woom. So we've had that album in the can for many years now. 25 years since Mama Woom Woom came out. He gave Mike Hard a bunch of files and lyrics. You're going to get it done. But we could come up and play. That would be cool. From where I stand, a nice way to pound nails into the coffin. I says, I'd be up for it. I have a big hammer I'll bring. And maybe this time we can kill the beast. Songs are good. I think it would be a good album when it's done. Now, I ask, why don't we just finish that album for David's memorial? It's all about Thrall exploiting the God Bully name. Do you think anybody would be interested in Thrall's fourth album after 8 years? They wouldn't want to talk to him. He's going around the circuit now because the God Bullies are back after 30 years, and that's the big lie. Okay, a couple years later, being as how this is the 25th anniversary of Dog Show, that's the second album, it seems to me that if there ever were a good time to bang a few nails in the coffin, this is it. And I agree. Okay. Oh, we'll end it with this one here, but this is me talking to David. They have what they call the Club Soda reunion here in Kalamazoo because Club Soda's closed, and they had all the great bands playing there. So, hey, David, I went to the Club Soda reunion the other night at the Old Dog and had a great time. The folks who put it on said the God Bullies were last year and this year's most requested band. They want playing. I think we should look into doing the God Bullies. And here's David's response. I'd be willing to do it, I suppose, but I have doubts that A, Hard and Berg could stand to be in the same room long enough to even run through the songs, and B, that either would be willing to play for free since proceeds go to some charity. Here's another one of his brilliant thoughts. This pretty much sums up what I feel about the band. It's funny how much nostalgia there is for that band. While I was keen to consider exploiting it at one point, reunion album or shows, it seems more and more that it's probably best, generally speaking, to let it be other people's nice memories. There was something special there once, but I doubt that much of it is there now. A one-off thing like the Club Soda reunion thing would probably be a good way to draw a line under it once and for all. So I'm sorry, everybody who's wants to see another God Bully album come out. What you're listening to is a Thrall album. It's getting good reviews because they're reviewing it as through the lens of a new God Bully album. So they're letting them get away with all the heavy metal nonsense and not really calling them out on it. They don't understand what's going on behind this, but I'm trying to let unsuspecting God Bully fans, the true ones, know what's going on. That's why I'm putting this out. So I'm going to leave it there. We're going to get on to some more clips. They're very interesting, so stick with me. And if you find this informative, please share it.